Hello, everybody. The much needed and looking at for it video about the Mercury retrograde. It is gonna be about evolution. It is gonna be about the truth to find a new inspiration. If you're familiar with the Mercury retrograde process, all the planets of the retrogrades, there is this S curve. So the planet it's moving forward and it stops on one spot and then it goes retrograde, stops and then goes direct. So what I'm going to look for it is the period from stops to be direct, stays there, it goes back and goes into the point of when it's going to be stationed direct, that intensify line from it. It's very interesting because I look at the Sabian symbols, and the Sabian symbols are very interesting of this retrograde. Plus, I look at the charts, kind of like examine them. It's going to be a very interesting period. There's going to be some intense energy. There's going to be some intense vibes. But what I'm talking about intense vibes, I'm talking about that there's going to be kind of like a new higher level of vibes for it, but they're going to be powerful. They just, you haven't experienced this new vibes from it. It's going to be also adding from that Venus retrograde is. So it's going to be kind of like a little bit of mix at the beginning. Some of you already feel the pre-shadow period. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, some of the people, they receive what's going to happen and then tells what's going to happen, and what's going to happen, it's going to happen. It is what it is. But this Mercury retrograde, it's kind of like interesting because it begins from Aquarius. Aquarius is new things, new ways. But you go back. You go back from the things that you look the new ways. And then you're going to shift into Capricorn. Whereas the Capricorn position, it's like, okay, you look those new ways, but you hadn't had a stepping stone in the ground. How you gonna make some changes? That's what your house failed. You hadn't had a stable base. You weren't stable. You want something you didn't did right. You have to redo it. You have to find different things. You have to find the way. So Mercury is gonna be doing this change for it, so we can gain the knowledge. The way the Mercury retrograde works is to remind you it's that it stops, it gives you the lesson, and then it asks you to perform the lesson. And during this period for it, the only thing that it screws up a lot of the things is at the beginning when it stops, you learning at point Z. You learning backwards. You learning what you need to achieve at the end of the cycle. Then you go Z and stops direct into A. So from direct motion, when it begins to move forward, you're going from A, B, C, D all the way down till Z. And this is why a lot of the people during this period of Mercury retrograde, they screwing up the things. They screwing up the stuff. So Mercury retrograde is going to happen at the 10th degree of Aquarius. Just going to read it. It says, during silent hour, a man receives a new inspiration which may change himself. He finds a new inspiration from his higher self to receive information light to the new path forward. That's what the Aquarius is. It is to find a new path, to find a new things, to find different answers, to find the different situations, to look at the new ways. to expand the subconscious, to expand the horizon, to expand the limitations, to do something you haven't done before. And this is why this Mercury retrograde, it's kind of like telling us, okay, this year you have to expand new possibilities, new ways, new changes, new things. Forget what happened in the past. Now it's the new. You have to get into the new. You have to get to this new. Uh, the part that Mercury is going to stop, that point A, from where you actually going to perform after Mercury retrograde goes into direct, that is going to be at 24 degree of Capricorn, and it says a store filled with precious oriental rocks. It is going to be about blending spiritual ideas with ordinary events and traditional cultures. That's mean that you have to blend all this new age culture. You have to create something that it's looking normally ordinary, changes, but you also don't forget the past, where you come from, the traditions, the traditional knowledge that has been passed over from the generations. You can't just build a house of over at a wood, and you're trying to build this castle. Ain't not gonna happen. The castle will crumble. That's what these traditional cultures, those are the pillars of building the society. That's what it is. You create ordinary events. So, I mean, you're building house. It's an ordinary event. You just building a house. It's nothing extraordinary in there. But the spiritual ideas, it's the ones that you kind of like put it in to put yourself together. So during this period, we are going to have it's beginning on a very special moment. Usually, the moon has something to do with it, but this time the moon and the black moon Lilith, they will have a lot to do with it. Basically, you're going to look the light and the dark, and it's going to be ignition towards Mercury retrograde. To the moon's going to move around, and then we'll see throughout the dates. She's going to make some certain things that it's going to be kind of like, some of them they're going to be under pressure, some of them they're going to be kind of like a nice and smooth, because we are going to have this Venus Mars closing coming in together. We're going to have Mercury retrograde with Pluto. Be careful on those days. We're talking about the chart, but the basic idea is this. That's what it's going to be. This man who is out on the quest of searching this truth, searching this a new transformation, looking at his higher self, and but his higher self is built on this oriental rock, and as you see it, he's got the phoenix. That's the extraordinary, the new thing that's got inside of him. He carries the phoenix with him. So he's in this quest. So as I go through the charts, kind of like you guys visualize this picture, take a see how it is on this picture, and you can look through it and have it in mind. I will probably post it on the Facebook as well, that picture, and we're gonna go toward to the charts just so I can get my computer straight away so you guys can see. Of course, Mercury retrograde, the technology doesn't respond very well. So this is the quest. This is the things that as you see, we are going to experience it. But the main thing it is he's seeking about his self, his higher self. So this is going to be a self inner work within you. Self inner work that you might go to the past, you may have to look into the traditions, religions, you may have to dig in it more of what the things are. So what's going to happen with Mercury retrograde astrology wise? So here is the chart as you see it. Here we have the moon and the black moon Lilith. They're giving the trine into a Mercury retrograde. It's going to occur at 6:41 a.m. That's New York time. And for those who are in New York, when you wake up, you feel this energy of the shift. But as you see it, that square towards Uranus, it's like you're on your own, buddy. You're on your own. The universe has no support. And you're gonna feel like, what is it going on with this? What's this situation is? To remind you that Saturn and Mercury retrograde, they're gonna have this square of the universe. It is about you on your own to do the work. Don't seek help from other people. Don't go out there and seek outsources. Seek from within and dig the informations that you need to dig. Find a different ways. Don't go to other people. Don't go to kind of like a readings or so to look for the future. Okay, if you never had to a reading, if you go for a reading, okay, don't go, I want to know what's going to happen between me or this person, or what's going to happen with this job, with the things. Go for a reading that states, help me with this. The old shamanism, the shaman is never said about this is what's gonna really much happen to you, this is what it is. The shaman purpose is about look at you, look at inside of yourself. And this looking inside of yourself is that purpose of it. So here you have to blend the new and the old as we go through. So since the moon's there in the Gemini, we are going to kind of like get this energy of emotions about like, here is, go look the light and the dark. Go look at it, Eve and Lilith. Here we go. You got this energy that comes up. That energy could be a lot of pressure because we have some opposition with Mars and we have a T-square with Neptune. So a lot of the intense energy that a lot of you feel like it's gotta be my way. Yeah, I have to fight for it. I have to do for it. If you've been through this Mercury retrograde periods, you will know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the first time you're watching the videos, go to my channel and review some of the videos, specifically the Mercury retrograde explanation, how it works. Go and find it, that video. So that energy here, it's going to be pretty good. As you see though, the moon and Venus, it's giving you the divine blessings of Venus that it's in Capricorn. It is about, okay, use your intuitions and soul. Use this power to go deep from within. Look what you've been missing. Look what you've been missing. Maybe you didn't understand something. Maybe you misunderstand something. Maybe you misbehave. And this is why this period of Mercury retrograde, it's going to go deep. So that energy of Lilith and Venus is going to be dropped out on January 16th. we're gonna be looking at this Mercury retrograde goes for it. When the moon moves into Cancer, the family part of I need to change something within the family. Mercury is gonna be focused. What is my part about family? What is my part about things? Forgot to mention that the previous period, this position here is gonna be reevaluating friendships because this is where the friends are in the third house, Gemini, someone like me. Did some of my friends give me some wrong information? Did some of my friends push me in the wrong directions? Did some of my friends have benefits to me? What did I did? So this energy is going to be changed because the moon is moving, as you know. She's kind of like giving us the seconds within the astrology. Um, so during this period, that energy about the family, the moon is going to opposing Venus. It's going to be like look the family, look the family, leave the Venus right now. Look what you did as feminine energy. Does right now look into that. To that family position. Did you did the right family? Did you build that family and the traditional values? Oops. The traditional values going to be brought out to this period. This ordinary events, those regular stuff. Did you did something out regularly for it? And there's going to be kind of like a reviews that goes on as that Mercury go back into Capricorn. As you see it on this day, we are going to have a Pluto-Mars conjunction for it, but it's not going to really work onto it. It's gonna kind of like I have to stay away of this. I will not interfere. I have to put my ego aside. With don't damage anymore myself with the ego. That's the sun, the us, that's me part. For so the Mercury go back on January 18. We are going to have this kind of like intense energy. That ego king, I'm in control. I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna tell him, you all know this energies that comes in. You all know the T square and oppositions comes in. The moon is gonna be very powerful. We all know within the twin flames, one day you are like here and the next day you're down there. You just like drop so quick, so fast. And the moon's gonna opposing, there's gonna be a full moon. So wish you good luck with that full moon and this intense energies at the same time. It'll be rough, as I said. It's gonna be has those intensify energies because the moon is creating square with Uranus and Taurus, and it's opposing for planets. That's a Mercury retrograde, Saturn, the Sun, and Pluto. And this intensify energy is going to be like overcome it, and that's going to be the only good thing. It's going to be the divine energy toward Jupiter in Pisces. That energy is going to activate. It's like outgrow this, surpass this, stop being like this. Don't look at it that way. Don't be angry. The anger doesn't solve anything. Don't be the boss. Look at something else. Look at something new. And be mindful about that day. So it's the next day. It's going to be the pretty much the same thing, but it's going to be kind of like lower, a little bit lower intensity. This time we are going to have the oppositions with Mercury retrograde and Saturn, and the square is going to be still going with Uranus. It's pretty much the same energy, just this time you might gonna see this shining light from the sun towards Lilith. It's like, look at your dark side, look at yourself, look at the darkness that you did, go dive in. Did you did something? Did you look at it? You did something wrong. And those energies in Gemini, it may pops out that, well, I was listening to friends, I was listening to members, I was listening something, and outsource information and act and that sort of information, but had nothing to do with the truth. There's gonna be this deja vu moment. As the sun, it's gonna be shifting towards Aquarius. That is about to help in you to look at the new approaches, to look at it beyond the veil, to look at it beyond the limitations, to rise up. But you have to let go of your ego. You have to let it go of you to be right. So on 25th, the moon, it's gonna be at on Scorpio. Is gonna opposing Uranus. As you see it right here, the sun, it's already at the 5 degrees of Aquarius. During this period, though, Mercury, it's going in. He's going back into Capricorn. This day is going to be that shift of the energies, like you learn these new ways now. You have to go back. You have to redo. You have to regain the things. And this kind of like a T-squares that's coming in from the moon. The moon, it's going to be squaring the sun, the Mercury retrograde, and Pluto. And that energy right here, you're not going to like it. It's like, oh hell, I don't want to be there. I don't want to go back into these things that I did. I don't want to go back to the things that happened. I don't want to go back into the past. I don't want to go back and dig this hole again. I don't want to remove this crumbling castle to understand why the castle crumbled. I don't want to do this. And some of you is going to feel this intense energy, but it is what it is. You have to go through. By the way, this Mercury retrograde, it's going to have some trine with the North Node. The North Node is between Taurus and Gemini, and as you see it, Mercury retrograde, it's going to be between Aquarius and Capricorn. So there is this kind of like a specific trine, so you can have a more power. It's like a power of 4 zodiacal signs just to move, and they are both earth and air. So this can help you kind of like look into yourself, looking for more stability, looking for more things, like don't be just blowing away and get some good words or something like this. Do something that is stable, do something that is right. So as the moon, it's going to be coming up into Mars. As you see, the energies are coming down. This is how this period of Mercury retrograde, it's going to give its power to go and do your research, to go back into the point where you get the spiritual ideas and in the traditional cultures to be coming together. As you see it, the moon is going to join Mars. Mars is in a very good positions with the North Node. That's mean you're gonna be working on your karma. You're gonna be doing something that it is in position. Mars is in the 3rd degree of Capricorn. That stays union within the soul, to embody the soul And the warrior wants to embody the soul. That's all its purpose. That's what he is there for it. So, as you see it, we are having the Moon, the Mars, Venus, Mercury retrograde, and Pluto. That's 5 planets in that sign, and there's a lot of going on in Capricorn. The Capricorn, it is this public servant, but it's also this person that don't lie to them, don't have a secret from them, and don't screw up with them. Period. Capricorn and Taurus, those are the 2 zodiacal signs that once you cross their lines, their limits, you can't go back to them. It's impossible. This is earth signs. That's it. They build this mountain, they build this Chinese wall, and you're not going through. It is impossible for you. And here is that we have this moment that every Chinese wall has its door. It is about to making the door for yourself, to look at that door, to understand these positions of what I built is the right thing that I built. What happened? Why my castle crumbled? Why my life is not good? What I'm doing here on this earth. So Mercury is going to be going for another day or so. And he's going to arrive to this point of 24 degrees. As you see it right here in the chart, Mars and Venus, they're about 6 degrees apart. And Lilith, it's going to be kind of like opposing them. This is going to be a moment of like, what was the aggravations about? Where was the apple that Eve took? What was the apple? Where that apple came from? What was the situations that it was? And as we see here, Mercury, it's gonna be pretty much all the time with this trine with the North Node. That's mean doing your karma, doing your karmic lessons, doing your things that you need to do. But right here we are gonna have a Mercury retrograde, Pluto, and the Moon, and the focus is going to be there. The Moon is your focus, your attention, your situations that will be. And at the final time, at February 4th, we are going to have Mercury is going to be arriving at the 24 degree over at Capricorn. Is going to be stationed direct. It's just going to stay there for a day and a half, and then it's going to move direct. As you see at the energy here, Mars and Venus, they're kind of like together. That's mean your feminine, your masculine energy right now, they are coming kind of like together. They are finally understood what it needs to be done. Mercury, it's kind of like, okay, I got my lessons, now I have to get to work. I understand what I needed to do. Now I have to do it. I have to go back and receive this. I have to do the work to receive this. I understood that my job is to receive this new inspiration, but to receive the new inspiration, I have to go back. I have to receive this gift, and then with the gift, I have to move forward. With that magic carpet, I have to get my phoenix. That's my reward. And that's what this process will be with Mercury retrograde. As you pay attention, we are going to have the Sun and Saturn conjunction, and that's squaring Uranus. Gotta tell you that during this aspect, if you still get into your ego, ain't going anywhere. You ain't doing nothing. You basically wasting your time. So the energy is going to be pretty good because Uranus is going to trine Mars and Venus. There's going to be the sextile with Jupiter and Pisces, and that sextile with between Jupiter and Uranus is going to be creating this positive circle of kind of like putting everything together, putting all the pictures of togetherness. And also the Mercury and Pluto is going to have this similarity with the trine, um, that it's between the North Node and Mercury and Pluto, and the sextile between Mercury, Pluto, the Moon, and the Moon is sextiling the North Node. So there's gonna be some interesting moments. There's gonna be some high impacts on you, but don't forget about you, the guy who's looking for his new inspiration. The guy, the person, it's you. So, guys, thank you so much for watching the report. I hope everything goes well with you. And, guys, be love.